Hello, Love Wrestling. It's Thursday night. It's 8 p.m. And you know what that means. It's another new episode of Between Two Beards.
Can we start off with the biggest news of the week? The Rats lost! If you got the budget, I've got the time.
There he is.
Hey, boss!
There's the boss.
Hey!
The man with the finest beard on this screen.
Canadian men, boys, shut the hell up. Let me talk.
You see, the Rads are resourceful. When I got beef with somebody, I can find a way to talk to them.
And listen between two beers.
Hello, Love Wrestling. It is Thursday night. It is 8 p.m. And you all know what that means. Tell them, Pluggo.
It means that you're here for another edition of Between Two Beards. I actually got it right for the first time in
That's first time ever,
episodes.
I think.
Yeah, it's also because I've been doing this so long. I had a mental lapse. I ran out of fun things to say, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I have to go back to the joke book or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
But I'm excited. You're here. I'm here. It's a big one tonight. It's always a big one. We got two of our favorite guests coming on to talk about the PWI 250, which seems to be a yearly event here as we talk about PWI since they dropped the Women's 250 came out. So Kristen Ashly and Warren Hayes will be joining us shortly. But how are you first and foremost? I'm gonna take over today and ask you how you're doing.
Wow, you're asking me. I am doing okay. I'm doing all right. It's been a little tough week, but we get through it. That's right. I'm excited about tonight. I'm excited about talking to Warren and Kristen. I'm excited because my New England Patriots about to whoop the New York Jets' ass tonight. I'm excited about that as well. If they don't, you're going to see me depreciate by the minute on this stream tonight. But no. I'm excited about tonight. But before we bring on our pals Warren and Kristen, we have
takeover. It could happen.
Yeah, we have one of our own here at Love Wrestling that we're going to bring on for a few minutes because he decided to do something a little wild for the next 40 hours or so. So we're going to bring on our pal, the voice of Love Pro Wrestling, Big Bad Boris. My friend, how are you this evening?
I may not have any voice left after
I was going to say.
Done.
Yes.
What is the Patriots record right now?
8-2, best record in the NFL, mind you. Okay.
What's the Jets record?
2-7.
Okay, so we're not worse than the Jets. All right, that's cool. How you doing, gentlemen? Thanks for having me, letting me come on here and do some last-minute plug-in, no pun intended.
No, you had reached out. You said, hey, can I come on right at the top for, talk about what I got going on? And we were like, of course. Obviously, this is all for charity and donations. As you can see, the QR code has been in the corner here for all month or the last few weeks at least. And, we wanted to bring you on. You asked to come on so you could talk a little bit more about what you got going on starting tomorrow night. 40 straight hours, Boris.
Yes, sir.
Are you ready for 40 straight hours?
The closer we get to it, the more nervous I'm getting because I'm worried I bit off a little bit more than I can chew. But yeah, I will be starting tomorrow night, 10 o'clock Mountain Time, midnight Eastern, streaming live for 40 straight hours to raise money for the Edmonton, that's local here where we live, the home base of Love Wrestling, the Edmonton chapter of the Canadian Mental Health Association, a group and organization that has near and dear to my heart, has been very, very helpful to me. And I wanted to give back with some knowledge and some money to talk about, especially with men, that it's okay to not be okay. It is okay to reach out for help. You do not have to suffer alone. And the only way I could think of to do it is do what I do best, and that's talk about wrestling. So we got 14 blocks of programming coming up over the 40 hours. And yeah, Pluggo, you're going to be involved, you and your lovely Mrs. Pluggo.
Yeah, wrestling trivia with the Plug. Well, Mrs. Pluggo's going to take on Miss Boris. I'm going to be there more for just like moral support.
Moral support.
Has she been studying?
I told her to start. She has not. So
now this is straight up wrestling trivia that the missus will be doing.
A super quick backstory is it's
because this is a trilogy
match. Yes, a trilogy. Yes, so the very first trilogy on my show, Saturday Night Live, we did a newlywed game between myself and Mrs. Boris against Pluggo and Mrs. Pluggo, and they won. They were fabulous.
By a lot.
And then Mrs. Boris and Mrs. Pluggo did a Grey's Anatomy trivia game.
Grey's Anatomy, that's right.
On Saturday Night Live that I kind of morphed into the couples against the couples. And we won that one. So I figured we'd have the rubber match during the 40-hour stream and do wrestling trivia just to see what the ladies have soaked in kind of through osmosis with our obsession and the way we choose to live our lives.
That is great. That is going to be funny.
Thanks, Fernando.
All right. So obviously so 40 hours, you say you have 14 blocks. What else should the Love of Wrestling faithful that'll be tuning in and hopefully donating if you can and all that fun stuff? What else should we be looking out for in this 40 hours that we got?
Give me a second here, and I can actually whip through the entire lineup, and I'll do it.
I'd like to point out while he looks that up, Mrs. Pluggo and I lost the Grey's Anatomy Twitter face up by one question, and it's because they asked me the final question.
Sure.
Okay, so I'll whip through this as fast as I can. First block, the WrestleMania 2000 all-day pay-per-view they did back in 2000. Before WrestleMania 2000, they did an 8-hour pre-show pay-per-view talking about the history of WrestleMania up to that point, plus hype for WrestleMania 2000. I thought that'd be a fun little time capsule, so we're going to do that. Second block, 3 hours, Botchamania Roulette. We've got the big roulette wheel. We've loaded all 520 episodes of Botchamania on the roulette wheel. We spin it. Whichever one comes up, we watch that. We'll do that for 3 hours. After that, 2 hours, promo class. You like good promos, you like bad promos, you like ugly promos. We love them all. We're going to watch them and learn a little something about ourselves along the way. Next, history of the CWC with Jack Pride. CWC was a company that ran here in Alberta called the Canadian Wrestling Coalition that Jack Pride had a big part in running. It was very much a labor of love for him, so we're going to go through the history of that. After that, Judge Ben Owen's got the history of Alberta Pro Wrestling for 3 hours. He has curated a playlist of awesome stuff from the history of Alberta wrestling, so we'll do that for 3 hours. Then after that, 5 to 6 p.m. Mountain Time, Drawing Power with Veda Scott. Veda's going to come on, and we're going to do the Drawing Power gimmick. I got my crayons and my pens and my pencils and all that. After that, at 6 o'clock Mountain Time, is Mrs. Pluggo versus Mrs. Boris. After that, it is Quizplex Blitz. 2 hours of your favorite bar wrestling trivia game. Myself, Warren Barris, Spencer's going to be in there. We're going to see whose cuisine reigns supreme. After that, Best of the Archer Report with Thaddeus Archer, because he has to worm his way into everything. After that, midnight to 3 a.m. is the Best of LPW Dealer's Choice. And what that is Spencer Love's going to join me. You throw a few bucks in the kitty and name an LPW match. We're going to watch it and tell stories about what we know about it, and Spencer putting it all together. After that, the second biggest block is the Oh My God trilogy. WWE put out top 50 moments of WWE, WCW, and ECW. All three of those together is 7.5 hours. That's what we're going to watch. After that, a special 90-minute brunch gimmick in its regular time slot with myself, whatever's left of me and Lawrence. Followed by that is a block I'm really, really excited about. The second last block is going to be actually a live look-in. The Clandestine Wrestling Society has a training class at that time on the Sunday morning. So we're going to have a camera in there and get a live look at the training session at the CWS. MRB's nice enough to let us do that. And then from 12:30 p.m. till 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on Sunday, it is the final 90 minutes, the final countdown. I don't really know if I have anything planned. I'm thinking like open house, everybody comes in, we party it up. And the 2 really cheap bottles of champagne I bought for the Blue Jays that I did not crack, I will crack at the end of the extreme. Can I make 2 more points and I'll get the hell out of here?
Yes.
Sure.
1 point. One of those blocks is fake. One of those blocks, that's not really what we're doing. We're doing something else. So you guys hop on
Boris is doing the truffle shuffle for donations, according to affiliate.
Yeah, I was going to say, Peggy said, how much does she have to donate to get Boris to do the truffle shuffle?
I don't even know what the truffle shuffle is.
Look it up.
You don't know the yeah, look it up. Look it up.
So hit me up on my X and let me know which block you think is the fake. And most importantly, tomorrow morning on my YouTube page, and you can find it on my
hopefully it's a Thaddeus Archer block. Suck it, Thad.
On my X account, I'm going to be releasing a video that explains why I'm doing this and why specifically on this weekend. I have a very important story to tell, and it's going to be told in that video that I'm going to release tomorrow morning on my YouTube, and we're going to play it throughout the 40 hours of the stream. I am all sweaty and tired, and I have streamed for 11 minutes. So we'll see how this all shakes out starting tomorrow night. I thank everybody who's been super, super helpful, all the Love Wrestling guys behind the scenes, Zach and Spencer and you guys, and everybody who's helping out. Dustin's done a ton of work for this too. So thank you. And now we just got to do it.
All right. Well,
we appreciate you. We can't wait.
Yeah, it's a great thing you're doing, donating money for a great cause that I care about a lot as well. So, yeah, I'll be tuning in. If there is an open house, I might even try to pop in if I can at some point.
It is open door policy 24/7 or 37 or 47. Feel free.
All right. Well, we appreciate you coming on and letting everybody know what you got going on for the next 40 hours starting tomorrow night. And I'm sure we'll be
Boris,
in the chat
just so you know, while everyone's in the chat right now, any donations that we get via a super chat tonight, we will match it.
Oh, you guys are fabulous. That's fantastic.
Us, we'll add that to the donation pot, and we will throw in money. Well, at least me. I know JPJ.
Yeah. I got yeah.
You know. I just decided that. I didn't talk to him about it first. So if he's like, "Listen, man, I'm short this week," I got you, brother.
Thank you. Thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate it. You guys are the best. I love you guys.
All right, Boris. We look forward to tuning in and watching.
Bad Boris, baby, doing 40 hours. He's a psychopath. He's a sicko. We love him.
Have a great show.
All right. See you later. Boris, gone. All right.
Boris,
so tune in. Starts at midnight Eastern tomorrow, and then 40 straight hours, Boris. No naps, he said. No naps.
No naps.
That's nuts.
Now, before we bring on our amazing guest to talk about the PWI250, I know you're
naps are for bitches.
Naps are for. Whoa, I love a good nap. So call me a bitch, baby, because I am a nap. I am a nap.
All right.
I am a nap. I am a nap salute, baby. I will take naps all goddamn day. Fernando's in the chat. Ope three-ways in the house. Affiliates in the house. Sports and things says this is the first time they're able to catch us live. Well, welcome in. And then another Boris, I assume, asked if we're live. We are live. And so here we go. It's Warren Hayes and it's Kristen Ashly. They are on the committee of the PWI Pro Wrestling Illustrated 250, the women's edition. They are here to break it down with us. Answer all of our crazy questions. Answer some of your questions if you want to guarantee that question gets read. Remember, super chat us, and any super chat donation you give us, we will match and give to Boris for the exSTREAM for his cause.
Here we go. All right, here we go. Push the buttons? Oh, I'm pushing the buttons.
Oh, there's one. Boom. We did it. Hey!
Thank you both for joining us tonight. We're excited to have you.
Yes.
You should.
How are you?
Yeah, thanks.
Wow.
I should.
Wow.
You got cocky. You got cocky.
Unbelievable.
That paycheck that Spencer gives you must just be getting bigger and bigger.
Oh, you get a paycheck from Spencer?
I told you guys not to bring this up on air while the girl was going to be there. Thank you very much.
You notice I didn't. Did you notice that I didn't? Did you notice that I didn't?
It could be. You know, you guys probably talked about it last time you were on, Warren, and I was unfortunately on my deathbed and missed, so I must have missed that meeting.
Oh, well, you know.
Pluggo's an ally. Thank you.
Yeah, see? It's all love.
He's
all
got
love.
it. You know,
yeah, I get it. You know, if listen, so much an ally, we're just going to do this. Get over there.
Wow.
Yeah, get over there.
Okay,
Get
all right.
Get over there, Warren. Get over there.
I see.
Cool
Pluggo,
side.
you're looking good. You're looking good, Pluggo. Like, because I think the last time I came, it was just me and JPJ. I think you were ill.
Was sick.
Yes,
I was.
I tried to power through, and at the last minute, I was like, "Could you boys just run it?"
But you're looking good. I don't know if it's the beard. Did you lose some weight? You're looking fantastic, brother.
I did, actually. So I'm trying to think. You came on around was that Double or Nothing maybe, or a little
I'd say so. That makes
it
sense.
was an AEW pay-per-view. So around the end of my son's baseball season, which ended around July or so, I stepped on a scale for the first time and was just like, that's not it. That can't be it. That can't be right. And so since then, I've lost 45 pounds or so. I've been fluctuating a little bit here lately. I've had a rough couple of weeks in my journey, but I'm happy to say, like, I just have lost enough to at least like feel better about myself. So that's the key. Thank you, though. Thank you for noticing.
Congratulations.
Yeah. I just noticed the number was only going up, and I was like, oh, that if I'm not a super. I mean, I'm a super heavyweight at heart, but
there's certain numbers you don't mind going up.
Yes.
But there's others. You prefer not.
Yes. 100%. Well, Pluggo mentioned it at the top. This is becoming kind of an annual thing for us, getting together. And when the big list drops, the 250 PWI Women's 250, it dropped. Obviously, we brought you on because we do want to dive into that this evening. But I also wanted to potentially talk some blood and guts, if that was okay with the both of you. Because holy moly,
let's go.
How dare you?
Tremendous. I thought that was a tremendous show last night.
Oh, excellent. Excellent.
Just
excellent
from top
stuff.
to bottom, just great stuff. So I was wondering if we could talk about that at the start, and then we can dive in.
May I?
If you would
it's
be
your
okay
show.
with that.
May I preempt the whole round table this thing?
Yes.
Because this is something that I talked about. I think we did. Did you enjoy having two blood and guts matches on the same card, or do you feel like that? Because I was worried that we default to which one was better. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of wanted the women's one to stand alone. I didn't hate the men's one at all. I'm not saying that. I'm just asking, did we prefer to have two? We've never had two before on the same card.
Kristen, do you want to start or?
Well, listen, I'm going to be completely 1000% honest. When it comes to Wednesday Dynamite, my ADHD is full blown.
I agree.
So I probably, sadly to say, I probably paid attention more to the men's than I did to women's, only because the women started the show. But I mean, I don't mind the two. Then again, I didn't really pay attention to all of it, so I hate to admit that. But Wednesday, it's like midweek, and my ADHD, like.
Admittedly, I didn't.
She usually catches up later. You're like towards the weekend. Yes, Wednesdays are a bit of a.
I was gonna say, admittedly, I did. I was kind of all over the place during the men's one, just based on what was going on. Like the women's one, I was locked into, and then I just had all this other stuff happening. But yeah, no, I was just curious how. I mean, it turned out it looked like it's worked out really well for them last night, for sure.
I had lots of I talked about this quite a bit on stream and during the AEW reviews that I do. That I had apprehensions in having two of the same match on the same show. You know, I was thinking, well, is this going to become a Royal Rumble situation where you really get exhausted? You know, you get through one and then you're like, ugh, there's another one. Better be something fun, you know, kind of thing. You know, look, at the very least, I think they managed to make it really interesting because they structured the matches in two different ways, where the women's match was a plunder match. It was like a straight up hardcore match where, you know, it's like, let's just maim each other. Here are all the objects. Let's just, you know, throw shit at each other, whatever. And the men's match was more like a brawl. Like, if anything, the men's match reminded me more of the old war games, of the really, really first ones that we got, where it's just like we're just pummeling each other, we're just beating each other up. So we had really those two differences. You had one which was hardcore toys, you know, and just like you know, just going nuts, and the other one was just a fight. It was a bloody fight. And I think the fact that they were structured in this way, in two completely different ways like that, I think it saved us from having fatigue towards the end of the men's match, because that one was longer too. What was almost an hour? It was like 54 minutes, something like that. So, you know, yeah.
And I thought Kyle O'Reilly and the men's match was just, and the way that everything went down with Mox finally, after weeks of avoiding it and getting himself disqualified and all this stuff, really just Kyle with just covered in blood, withstanding the choke from Mox and then turning it around and finally getting Moxley to tap out. I thought that was this guy is a singles, like it feels like Kyle O'Reilly's ascent in the singles division is like upon us now because of that, which I thoroughly enjoyed. And I'm interested to see are we finally approaching the end of the Death Riders, Warren, do you think? Like, do you think now the others will be looking at Moxley going like, hey, what's going on here, pal?
Look, that's been the theory, right? For the past couple of weeks, that everyone is like, oh, the Death Riders are just going to be fed up of Mox because he talks a big game. He passes himself off as this tough guy, this violent brute that is going to guide everyone through this new era of violence. But when it comes down to it, if he doesn't have his boys to back him up, he can't do shit. So I think there's teeth to that. The question is, what do you do? What is the next step then? Like, is it like whatever the Death Riders turn into, whether they continue to be called the Death Riders, whether they change their name and become something else? Like, what is the next step? And I think the crucial part is the establishment of a leader for this new incarnation of Death Riders. And right now, unless you're completely okay with the Death Riders becoming a mid-card act, which is fine, but unless you want to keep them like on the same level that they were, you're going to need a major league leader. Like, I know people have been talking about Pac. What has Pac done? Like, Pac disappears I know he gets injured, right? Yeah, but he disappears for a while, and then he comes back, and then he disappears again. Claudio's not the leader type. He doesn't have that about him. Yuta, you're gonna like. I've heard people say, "Oh, Yuta's gonna take over." I'm like, no, he's not. What? No. So I think it's someone from the outside that's going to come in. I'm actually thinking that Swerve Strickland might be the guy because I know it's a bit of a coming out of left field type of thing, but Swerve he said something. I think it was on Twitter or something, like around when he was talking about his injuries, was saying, look, I got to come back, and I got to come back like how I used to be, right? Well, how was Swerve used to be? Used to be a heel, used to be a guy who was just concerned about beating people up and being violent. He calls himself the most dangerous man in AEW. Well, you can make an argument that he's not, like you can. So maybe he'll come back and claim that throne, and a Mox Swerve feud would not be uninteresting to me. I'd be into that, Yeah. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what the next steps are for sure.
Yeah, I agree. And then when you go to all right, so right 2 minutes into this, so the women open the show. I thought they might have main evented, but either way, both matches were.
Can I say something about that?
Yes.
The main event on AEW Dynamite on Wednesday nights is quarter hour 1. Okay? That is where the most people tune in to watch the fucking show on every Wednesday night. So the women main evented because they got the prime quarter hour. They started on QH1. Okay. And that's just how it goes. And this is kind of a mentality that we need to sort of be able to be flexible and wibbly wobbly about. Sure, the men finish the show, but look, the ratings will come out eventually. But the quarter hour that the most people watch is the opening one. Who did they throw in quarter hour 1? Willow Nightingale Sky Blue. So there you go.
She was bleeding a minute into that thing.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say 2 minutes into it, she's just covered. And it was like, holy moly. And it was like one of those things, sometimes you see a lot of blood like that at first, and throughout the match, it'll kind of dry a little bit and whatever, but it was just nope. And I was like, that can't be good. That can't be good for her. Losing that. Like,
I tweeted out last night. Minutes. The real heroes of last night is the AEW medical team who worked overtime. Sure.
No,
I couldn't believe it.
Good for her. I thought that was, I got to be honest, I'm kind of glad it was her, just because I think she needed that like rub of like, I'm a badass, right? Like, I'm gonna bleed this entire thing, and then our team's gonna win this thing on top of it. And then that shot at the end with all 4 of them at the ramp. And Mercedes, though, she was chilling.
Yeah,
Which is fine.
Through that table. Yeah, no,
Oh, yeah.
which is perfect for her. Which I was like, I saw a lot of discourse online today about her, quote unquote, like my famous line, phoning it in. But that is Mercedes Moné, right? Like, do as little,
When did you phone
dirty
in?
work. That's what
When
I'm
did
saying.
you
I'm
phone
just
in?
people hate Mercedes.
I know they hate her.
That's what I'm saying. But even if you were to go that route, she was a badass, but she also, just did what Mercedes would do and tried
She
to
went through a fucking table.
Yeah,
She
I was
went
gonna
through
say,
a table.
yeah.
Oh,
Her and
it was
Statlander went through the table to kind of separate themselves and the
Statlander
world
with
title
his
match.
nails too.
Yeah,
Ugh,
well, yeah,
ugh,
that's true.
ugh, God.
But
I might have nightmares about that one.
no, I thought the women's was just a chaotic. The mirror spot with Tony and
That was incredible. When it shattered.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because you
that
only
was-
get one shot at that too, and they nailed it.
It was beautiful. It was like I didn't expect it to shatter as much because it looked like funny glass, like not glass, but that goofy, like the funhouse type of mirrors thing, where it's bendable. So I didn't even expect it to shatter, and then it just like exploded. I was like, wow, what a hell of a visual.
So you're saying it was real glass?
Yeah, I think people could have cried a river. Yes, I think people have actually been crying rivers. Indeed, yes.
Yeah.
They have.
No,
if you didn't love last night, you absolutely hated it in the internet world. Like I'm just like, calm down. Again, change the channel. That's all I'm saying. You don't have to
That's all.
watch it. Yeah, it's that easy, guys.
Yep.
PSA for all those that are like, I can't believe they put this on TV. Well, why were you watching it then?
Just turn it off.
Yeah.
Absolutely, just like that.
I had a good time.
Yeah.
I had a great time. It was amazing.
I enjoyed myself. I ended up having to catch up and play it late though, which I started it at like 9 o'clock. So I was lucky enough to avoid most of the spoilers of just like all the crazy spots. And so I got to watch it and I was like, oh man. But I was like behind everybody that was all like, holy shit, this is insane. And I'm like, no, I'm not there yet. Hold on. I'm coming.
Yeah.
But it was, and I thought the women's match was excellent. I thought they were both great. I thought they were both on the same levels of great, both the men's and the women. The only thing, look, if you want to get nitpicky, and I was, look, that's kind of the par for the course. I really would have liked these matches to have more heat going into them. That's my only. That's my main problem going in, where I don't feel either match was earned, if that makes sense. Like on the men's side, there were, it didn't feel like a feud that must be ended in blood and guts kind of thing. They've been going at each other for months, and and same thing with the women. I really wish that both of these matches felt earned. And then I'm like, could you imagine then, let's say, gassed up on all this, these months of animosity and feud building. Imagine all of the crazy spots you remember from both matches last night, and then add on top of that you going, yeah, because they've been feuding for months. Fuck you. It would have just taken things even more over the top. But it's a quibble, because honestly, it's this was tremendous. They were both tremendous regardless.
Yeah, I thought so. And I thought, we're talking about the Death Riders a little earlier, obviously. Like Marina Shafir, I think when you look back on the Death Riders, I feel like Marina Shafir is the one who has gained the most by far of anyone in that group. And the way that they kind of, obviously there was the injury and Megan Bain needed a partner and Marina kind of stepped in, but the way even the women's match ended with kind of her being the centerpiece of setting all that up with Tony having to watch me. And it's just, she has been the way they have they have taken her. And it's really a lot of how Moxley, I think, a lot of how Moxley views her on the screen when Moxley's intimidated by her. Moxley's kind of scared of her.
Puts her over
a little
constantly.
bit. He puts her over all the time, and I think it's done such a wonder. And you see her just kind of obviously late inserted into this match late due to injury, and they still found a way to make her kind of the centerpiece of
she looked
a lot what was going on. She looked like a badass.
Like that when she got into there, I think they played it perfect. And Danielson did a great job putting her over as well on commentary, being like, she's grappling, this is what she does, and her in a cage, she's not scared. Or it was Excalibur that said that line. But still, yeah, I had a good time with that too.
Yeah, I very much enjoy her work.
I guess we're just a bunch of sickos, man.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, Marina Shafir was in her element. She, like, they used her perfectly. Like, she was absolutely a star of this. She was perfect for the finish. Like, you know, I love the finish of this match too, on top of that. So it's like, you know, I have, let me put it to you this way. The role that Marina Shafir has in AEW right now is perfect for her. Absolutely perfect. Like, she has big China vibes, you know, without the size, without the overly muscular physique, you know, but that's what she is. She's a modern day China, and she works perfectly in that role. You let her wrestle, well, again, she's a modern day China. So it's like, you know, you know, it's like, it's fine, you know, it's all right. But, you know, for the role that she's that she's doing with the Death Riders, she's fantastic, above and beyond. And she was great in the cage. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, just like Scott said, you know, she was doing Dark and Elevation before Moxley got there, and she was trying to find her footing. And then when he ended up with her, it was kind of like, oh, this is interesting, because she was still coming off of that whole like really weird promo that she cut that time. But they've done a great job.
And the straw hat. Remember the straw hat?
Yeah. How could I almost forgot. Yeah. Thanks for reminding me. Gross.
No problem.
No, but they've done a fantastic job with her since then, and they've repackaged her to the point where we don't even think about that kind of stuff anymore. Just go, look at this badass right here.
Yeah. But all right. And I thought, you know, obviously it's hard to be in the middle of two War Games matches, but I enjoyed Hobbs and Hangman too. I thought that I thought that was awesome. I thought that was awesome too. So, you know, I thought it was just a great show all the way through. That last spot where Hobbs fell off and the stuff exploded, you know, I'm kind of a mark when it's done well. It can be corny at times. I thought that one actually looked cool, and it looked like oh shit. All right.
That looked more intense than the exploding barbed wire death.
Yeah, you know, like
Yes.
But I thought that match was a bunch of kick-ass. Like, I thought that match ruled too. I thought
we figured it out.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. Good.
You know, Tony Khan's in the back going, "Hey, I think we figured out the Pyro Sparks thing. Maybe we revisit the deathmatch barbed wire thing." And everybody's like,
ask the Young Bucks how to do the Sparks thing. They know how that shit works, but they make it work on shoes, so they could probably make it work on a table too. No, look, on any other night, honestly, this would be like the match everyone's talking about, right?
Yeah.
Because it was fantastic. Just no nonsense, kick ass. Two dudes just beating the piss out of each other. You know, one guy just in there to try to soften up. Like, it's the most classic pro wrestling story of all time. One guy's in there to soften up the champ for his buddy that he's going to meet at the pay-per-view. Yep. And he's doing a good job at it. Don't get me wrong. Like, Hangman got beaten up. That bump that Hobbs took when Hangman did the back body drop off the commentary table, and Hobbs just landed straight on his tailbone.
Yeah.
Jesus. Like that was just some phenomenal stuff. I think this was Hobbs's best match in AEW so far. I think bar none. I'm trying to think of anything else that he's done that was this good, complete, exciting. Hobbs has been great. I think he's had a great year being around a guy like Samoa Joe, man. I think it's unlocked something in him. He's only but benefited. It's tremendous. I'm so happy that it's working out for him, for real.
Yeah. I've always been a fan of Hobbs, and I think he's been really, really good since he's kind of done. I mean, Samoa Joe. Listen, I can only imagine the knowledge you soak up when you're around a guy like that.
Sure.
So and Hobbs being a big guy, I'm sure he's learned. Yeah, I see.
I would say he's learned more about being a big guy with Samoa Joe than he has with Mark Henry.
Yeah, I would think so.
What?
I would think so.
Really?
Yes, because Mark Henry stinks, and you know, we have these rose-colored glasses because of the salmon jacket and the House of Pain stuff. But the majority of Mark Henry's career was terrible. Whereas you get a guy like Samoa Joe, who's wrestled everywhere, has been successful everywhere he's gone, and Samoa Joe's beaten up guys. Like, he's beaten up at this time, at this period right now in his career. He's full of injuries. He's not 2014 Samoa Joe. He's not 2012 Samoa Joe anymore. That, you know, and yet he's still able to go at a really high level. It's crazy. It's crazy. So yes, I do believe Powerhouse Hobbs is learning a lot more.
You believe in Mark Henry?
Come on.
Oh, okay.
No.
All right, fine.
Unbelievable.
I forgot what show we're on.
No. What? No. I love Samoa Joe. I will say, obviously, he was never going to, but he should have beat Brock Lesnar when they did that thing back in the day. He should have done it.
Of course.
Should have beat AJ Styles back in the day when they did that.
He should have been WWE World Champion.
Couple times.
100%. 100%. Unbelievable. All right, though. Let's dive in. PWI Women's 250 was released this week. And Tuesday. Yeah. And I've looked through the list. It's a really good list. Obviously, we have you guys on to talk about it and the process and just kind of how everything is done. And then we kind of dive into, who are the main, who are the big names that were argued about the most or had the most discussion, most discourse and things like that. And I know, you all fight for certain people over the others and things like that. So Pluggo, I don't know where you want to start with them, but what are you thinking?
I have a question.
There we go.
I'm Pluggo. Pluggo with Love Wrestling. My first time, long time. How many belts did Mercedes Moné have to win to get the number one spot, or would it have been cool with just like a couple? Because she's got 12. At what point? Because Toni Storm sitting there at number 2, right? And she beat Mercedes Moné in quite a big match. It all in there. So how many of those belts helped propel Mercedes? And what was it like 4? And you're like, she has 4 belts. We got to do it. Or was it like she needed that 12th one to get it done?
Well, did she have all of them?
No, I think she won the last. I think she won the last.
Yeah,
2.
there's one that she lost. There's one that she won outside of the period. Yes.
Yeah, the last one, I believe.
Yeah.
The Winnipeg Pro.
Was it?
Exactly. The Winnipeg Pro.
Winnipeg Pro one she won last month, right? Yeah. So that would have been it. But I say that in jest. Obviously, I'm a big Mercedes Moné fan. I think she should have all the belts. I was just curious of how many of those belts did we go, hey, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. And we're just like, all right, we got to do it. We got to put her over Toni Storm here.
So before I start talking, I don't know. I feel like I've cut out once or twice. And I don't, maybe I didn't. Okay.
No.
It's like I'm sitting right next to my modem. I plugged in. I don't know how that would work. Okay. So I'll be completely honest. There's 2 of us, including myself, that went into this meeting with Toni as number 1, simply because she beat her at All In. Mm-hmm. And that's really a lot of the criteria, right? Is like, who are you beating? What title are you getting? And it's sort of like, well, she couldn't get that title at one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year. But, I think it was a small part. Not a small part. It's obvious that all these belts are a really big deal, but I don't think it was necessarily the belts in themselves, as in like, okay, she's a draw. She's given these belts. She's a big deal, less, more so than like, oh, here's this belt and that's a big belt and here's this belt. And like, we didn't really look at it individually like that, but like, why did she get the belts? That's really what played a part.
And for those that don't know, right, the influence is a big part of your guys' criteria as well. Yeah. And she's influencing a bunch of independent promotions.
Very influential.
Run.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because right now you could argue, well, you can argue a bunch of things. Let's do this. But Kristen's right. Like the belts is one thing, because I've seen the arguments where it's like, well, they're not really world titles. Sure, because that does have some weight in regards to titles, but I think in her case, it's more of the fact that she's truly an international star, where she's going around the world. She has the biggest variety of opponents that anyone else that anyone else on this list can boast. Plus, well, because she's going into these places and winning these titles, and she's establishing a legacy for herself, a legacy that will probably not be challenged for a long time. And all of this is very, very significant, and all of this happening outside of the scope of the biggest wrestling promotion in the world, which is not insignificant in and about an accomplishment in and about itself. And sometimes I wonder, like, it's funny because we look back at Ultimo Dragon, right? Which is, I guess the closest comparison. We look back to Ultimo Dragon and we look at that like with a certain form of reverence, and we go, look at this guy with all his belts, and we're like, holy shit, what an accomplishment. And yet we look at Mercedes and the general feeling is, look at her with all her fucking belts, and it's like, but honestly, I really wonder if it was a dude doing this, what kind of response that person would have. I think that there's a lot of what she's accomplishing, a lot of the responses of what in regards to what she's doing are powered by not really fun ways of thinking. Could be a nice little mishmash of things. And I think like this is a generational thing that's happening right now, and it's going to take a real long time for it to happen. No one was really complaining when Kenny Omega was going around doing the belt collector gimmick. Of course, he didn't collect 12, but nonetheless, it was unprecedented when he was doing it at the time. He had like 4 at the same time, 3, 4, something like that.
Yeah, something like AAA, Impact, AW, and then he had, I think, another. Yeah.
I can't quite remember. I think it might have been 3, but you see, like then everyone was like, oh, this is so cool. But for some reason with Mercedes, it's controversial, and I don't understand. I think like this is something that has been that's dictated. Here's the other thing. It's like, it's not dictated by one promotion. It's like people coming together and saying, yes, this woman is a star. This woman can push women's wrestling forward. Let's celebrate this. We haven't had a big international women's wrestling star like her in a long time. Let's just go ahead and celebrate it. Let's just do it. Let's make this a big deal.
She also has to be willing to like want to do that too, right? Like, she has to be willing to say, I'll go to the Winnipeg Pros of the world and all these other smaller promotions and do this and carry that weight, which it was as crazy to sound, right, in wrestling, going, oh, we want to give our belts to all this, but not everybody's going, I'm going to go to that level. I'm going to go down lower. I'm going to just, you know what I mean? So it's impressive on that end as well.
Working all these small shows in Italy, there's probably not that big a scene in Italy, in Denmark. And so, that to me is, look, the thing that we have a tendency to forget when it comes to Mercedes Vardano is that she's a wrestling nerd. She's a nerd. She's one of us. She's always been one of us. She's watched the tapes. That's why at some point she got itchy feet in WWE, where she was like, I want to go off and do stuff. And Vince would say no. And that's ultimately, this is part of what she wanted to do. She wanted to go spread her wings and do some stuff. And that's what she's doing right now, because she just loves to wrestle. She loves pro wrestling. And she's one of these people who wants to leave pro wrestling in a better place than when she came in. And all of this together this year sort of culminated this year, or during this period. And to me, it was a no-brainer. To me, it was an absolute no-brainer going into.
So you're one of the ones that weren't on Team Kristen here with the Toni Storm. Got it.
Yes.
So
fair. Christian, you say there was 2 of you that thought otherwise. Was it an easy persuasion, or was there some long-form discussion when it came to, or was it with the majority probably thinking, no, this is Mercedes, was it kind of like an easy, like, all right, yeah, like an easy, give in or switch or whatever happened there.
Yeah, relatively very. I mean, there was no hour-long discussion like it was that one year.
Yeah.
I came in. I mean, Mercedes was my number 2. It's not like she was, 20 or something. I mean, it was, and I had come in with literally saying, I'm not going to cry. Like, if Toni Storm is number 2, I'm not going to consider that a defeat for me. And eventually, and the other person is just like a team player. Like, they're just like PWI team player, and they just will go with the crowd. And it wasn't that hard of a sway either. Like, I kind of have this kayfabe beef against Mercedes. It's not really it's a stupid beef, but it wasn't a hard sway, and it came down to more of the influence than it did to the actual, for me, the body of work. It came down to the influence more than that. But no, I don't think it took much of any work for any of us to really go, okay, I guess Mercedes number 1.
And honestly, I honestly, I think for everyone there, I think it was a question of 1A, 1B. I don't think that I don't think anyone really saw, a clear 1 and a clear 2. I think like if the tides had turned and I was one of the outliers for Mercedes and Toni made it to number 1, I'd have been fine. Yeah, like I wouldn't be bitching about it, wouldn't be upset. It really was a year where it was 1A, 1B.
Yeah,
I think that's a great little break, because we're kind of talking to how you guys came to that conclusion. Maybe for the people that are catching this later or are in the chat that don't understand how this kind of goes for you guys, you're on a committee. There's so many women's wrestlers. And I know last year we celebrated this getting to 250, so now there's even more wrestlers to pay attention to. How do you guys on the committee kind of divvy up? Do you divvy up responsibilities where, like, Warren, you take, you're taking this, and then Kristen, you take that? Or do you guys try to watch as absolute much as possible and bring your own 250s to the table?
Well, so
why don't you explain how it works overall? And I think it'll answer itself.
Okay, overall. So I have taken upon myself to then pray. So we have meetings, right? Usually it's 2. And I take it upon myself to go and research every woman I can think of out there, and sort of, we have like literally a Google sheet that's like, okay, the big 7, and Oceania, and oh, here's the UK and Europe, and we put them in there, and I sort of softly rank them based on just like stats, and then we bring that, and everyone's sort of encouraged to bring their top. It's not like necessary, because I brought my top 20, and besides the top 3, it looks nothing like the rest of my top 20s. But getting an idea of like, who would you put in that, so that nobody was like off center, like where it's way down and you're like, okay, no. Like everyone had pretty much the same 20. I think he's done a really good job of getting people, curating this committee by pulling people who have niches. Like, I don't really have a niche. Like, it's average expert, right? Average expert. Like, I don't really have a niche. I just watch a lot. But like when Warren was brought on, and then we have Lyric, who was, she's our Joshi, and then this year we have Krista, who is our WWE expert, and we can't possibly watch everything. Like, you just can't. And so people have their favorites, and that's how you make a best list, is by getting those people who know. So then, you come together, and like Pat is our Canadian guy. I'm sure you guys know Pat. So yeah, I mean, we just all get together, and nobody's expected to know everything. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't at all. Yeah.
So if one of the experts from another area says, well, I'm going to put my person above your person in your area, is that where the discussion maybe comes in a little bit, where then you do a little more research to go, okay, that makes sense now to me? Like, I'm super intrigued how we put this thing together.
Do you want me to keep going, Warren?
You're on a roll, baby. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're the star. Average star,
yes.
average expert,
I'm the star of the women's 250. No, so we come to, I mean, we start again a Google sheet, and we just go, okay, who's our number 1? And then we go down, and usually the first 10 are pretty simple. You would think otherwise, but this year at least it was pretty simple. And then the further down you go is the further difficult it is, and then you rely on somebody. And Kevin is our like mediator, and he'll go, okay, well, and I'll tell you the lists that we finish on those meetings are almost never the list that gets printed, because we finish that like a month before print. And so like it's getting changed at the bottom at least quite often. So that's when you rely on it. So we had our second meeting. Some people could not make it, but that bottom of the list is like me, it's Jason, it's Lyric, it's those people who, you know, you don't have a ton of WWE people in there. You don't have a ton of AEW people in there. These are indies, these are Japan, you know, the Europe scene, all of that. So yeah, I mean, we all kind of get our say, but I mean, you're literally just sitting down and going, okay, who's number 3? And then you make a case. And sometimes it's like, yeah, that makes sense. And we actually had a little bit of a talk for number 3. That was the spot.
Yeah.
Number 3 was the spot. Yeah.
3 and 4 was the spot that I wouldn't say get heated.
Boris would like to know who Warren yelled at. Was this the time you yelled at 3 and 4 here with Saya and Tiffany?
I didn't yell, but that was the spot.
You know what people say they didn't yell, they yelled. I'm not yelling. Yes, you are.
No, I don't yell. Saya Kamatani at number 3 was what I wanted, and I got it. And I wouldn't say I didn't show some teeth. I don't get aggressive, but I got, I was very, very passionate. Thankfully, I had like Lyric, who added some weight to that, and Lyric watches a ton of Joshi, so that helped out quite a bit. I know Kristen at the same time as well was vouched for Saya, but we had some very strong voices for Tiffany Stratton at number 3. And we ended up making a case for Saya being a draw for helping elevate Stardom into its most profitable year ever. House shows, revenues, not just house shows, like shows period, everything is pointing upward. Stardom is the only wrestling promotion in Japan right now where all metrics are up, every single one, and dramatically up. So we went, so that's how we were able to get her over on that front. She's a fantastic pro wrestler on top of that, and just what a glow up she's had since turning heel. It's been absolutely phenomenal. So I was able, so that was the one that there was more of a split within the committee. There were some people who weren't necessarily happy with the final decision of Saya going at number 3, but you see, that's the thing. That's one thing that happens a lot is then let's say I get what I want, then I let go on some things, because there's some things sometimes that happen then on the rest of the list where I'm just like, okay, look, it's not Warren's list, it's everyone's list.
Yeah,
I will let this go. I could fight for this, but you've already listened to me for 5 minutes talking about Saya Kamatani, so we're good.
Got it.
We all go in like pushing for somebody. Like last year, it was Stefficare for me, and just really shoving it in there. Yeah. So
it was Camille for me last year in the top 10. I wanted Camille in the top 10.
Yeah.
I think they rounded out our top 5 here.
Yeah. That was going to be my question whenever we got around to it, was who were the 1 or 2, or even if you had more, but who were the 1 or 2 names that when you were getting into like the nitty gritty of these meetings, you were like, I'm fighting for this person. I think they deserve to be top 5 or top 10, or like, I don't know if Kamatani was the one for like the number 1 for you, Warren, but Kristen, what were the top 1 or 2 people that you were like, this is my person this year. They deserve to be top 20, whatever. Like who were those people for you, or that one for you, really?
There were more people where I was like, what? they're this high. I'm not gonna name those people because I didn't. But that's what he means when he's like, we loosen our reins a little bit. We got, so Saya, but then also at 25, Nina Samuels. I went in hard for Nina Samuels.
Yes.
I went in hard for her. She's I adore her. She's been one of my favorites. She's, in my opinion, really, really like underrated and not looked at hardly at all. And talk about belts. She had like 10 or 11 belts.
Mhm.
And the Nina show, and I thought, look, if not that I'm not saying they're on the same wavelength, but if we're gonna put belt collector up top, how are we not gonna put her at least in the top 20? And I had her like a 20. I mean, I had her higher than that, but when I got the 25, I think it was Pat was like, see, there you go, there you got what you want. Because it's not like we brawl, or it is at the end of the day we have to agree. We're not gonna I'm not gonna none of us are gonna let the list off and really have a problem with it. And there have been times when we just want to get the meeting rolling because there's 250 names and it's like a 4-hour meeting, the first one, and later I'll DM Kevin like, can you sell me this, because I'm still not sold. And then you just learn to let things go. And the top 10, 20, it was really like, it honestly, besides the top 3, it didn't really even matter that much to me. I mean, it did, but like if 8 was at 9, it felt okay to me. This year was really weird in women's wrestling, especially when you look at WWE, because there were so many different title holders and they held it for such a little time that it was like tomatoes and it was like apples and oranges. It was like, how do you compare these people? And so I think the WWE people in the top 10 make a lot of sense, but you get further down and you're like, okay, well, Liv Morgan and a lot of the title holders would go on to do tag. It was a really weird year for a lot of women's wrestling.
And tags in our lists are not tag teamwork is not,
because that'll go to the tag team list.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say, how about this question for you both? It's kind of the same vein of what you were just talking about. Who are you happy to see make the 250? That maybe is a name that like people listening go, oh, I don't even know who that is. I need to go check, because that's what I love about this list, is finding names that maybe I don't know and then going and checking them out and getting to know them and going, oh, hey, cool. I remember seeing so-and-so at the end of the 250 and now they're here at the top. Who was some people that made the list that you went, I'm so happy that they got this recognition?
Well, like every luchadora. I mean, this is a pretty historic year. It's the most ever in a women's list. So every single one of them. And when I was putting together the research list, I was able to put so many luchadoras in because they had so much more singles competition. And you can thank New Japan, you can thank AEW for that. You can thank, you even Rev Pro, you can thank them for all that extra work. And that was really cool to be able to, because I'm telling you, past years, you might have 3 women on that, think of me list, we call it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was cool. I also think Kid Bandit being on this was her first, and super awesome because she came back and she killed it. And that was a big moment. But honestly, like the bottom of the list, there are so many people we couldn't include, but then you could include some people that, like Mercedes Martinez. Holy cow, we got Mercedes Martinez back on the list, like huge, because she hasn't been doing a lot, and I don't know what's up with that, but eventually she could actually go back and do indie stuff, which let her back on. But that was, I don't know about Warren, but that was really big for me. Mercedes.
Yeah, you sort of stole my spot. It was the luchadors for me. The luchadoras, over the past couple of years, I've been a lot more invested watching some CMLL. That's really like a promotion that I've grown to love, actually. And the problem, because of how the rules are established with these lists, is that tag team multi-man action does not really count towards consideration in the list. So if you're a luchadora and you're wrestling in CMLL and most weeks you're wrestling in tag teams or trios matches, which is, par for the course in Mexico. That's typically what you'll have. You'll have more people wrestling in a match than just a straight up singles match. Well, then they end up being on the short end of the stick because they might have a year where they've worked, I don't know, 115 matches, different matches. And you're like, and then you look at them going, they're like, man, she is tremendous. She's so good. Like, but it's like, no, she, we can't put her too high because she's only had like a couple of singles matches, and and you're like, well, this stinks, So like Kristen said, ladies like Persephone, who are getting more out there, who are working like Ring of Honor and AEW and New Japan as well. Olympia just recently, right? They're getting more and more of these singles matches outside of their home promotion, and that is a good thing. That is a good thing for them, and then we can put them a little higher on the list. And I can only hope that trend continues, because there's a lot of talented women in Lucha Libre. But that's and look, what I'm saying here, I voiced this directly to the editor in chief, so it's not like it's something I've all of you. Last year, but this year someone else brought it up. I'm not going to name them. I'm not going to out them, but someone else brought it up this year, and I was like, yes, excellent. But yeah, it's unfortunate that the rules are made in such a way where that poses a disadvantage in some regions, just because of how culturally wrestling is booked over there. Since in Arena Mexico and CMLL, you will see most weeks multi-person matches, and especially for the women's division, they really don't give singles matches often to the women, but the women there are women who still shine in these multi-person environments, like Kira or like Catalina, for instance, and those just two off the top of my head, but they seldom get the singles matches that are so important for ranking in our list. So I was happy for this as well. That made me happy.
Persephone debuted at 51. That's huge.
Yeah, that's true. Crazy.
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy.
Crazy. Yeah.
So when it comes to CMLL, the ones that have been on Ring of Honor and AEW, those are the ones that I've been, that I've seen. And I know you just threw a couple names off. Are there any favorites when we are talking about the luchadors and their presence on the list? Any favorites maybe outside of the ones that maybe someone who's strictly a North American mainly wrestling watcher to be on the lookout for? Who would you recommend to me to go check out, that you think are names that we will all know soon enough, like we're starting to know about a Persephone and things like that?
Well, you've got La Catalina, but she's been on Ring of Honor. She's done stuff there, and she used to be in NXT. She used to be in NXT as well. She had a mask. I don't know if you remember. She was there. They brought her up towards the end of the Sin Cara gimmick. She was accompanying Sin Cara, but at the very, very tail end. Okay. And then when they got rid of Hunico and sent them back home, she left too, and then shortly thereafter they disposed of her. They thanked her. They future endeavored her. So she's very good. I mentioned Kira. Kira is she's very young, very new to the business, and but she's got that natural charisma. She's really got something. You're like, oh, okay. If she plays her cards right, and if she can grow as a performer, she can be up there. She can be really, really interesting. So those are definitely Kira is one that I've been excited to see how she's going to grow into, how she's going to involve in the business essentially. And there's another luchador. I don't know if you've heard her. She's called Tessa Blanchard.
Stop.
God.
Stop.
I wasn't even going to bring her up on this list.
Yeah.
It's about the extent of the testimony. Okay.
Hey, cheers.
Oh, wait. Do it again. Who?
Oh, yes. So there's this good luchadora out there. I don't know if you heard about her. Her name is Tessa Blanchard.
Oh, my, really? What? Sorry. It's a running gag here. How about for you, Kristen? Anybody that we need to know about from that's not named Tessa Blanchard?
That's not yet. India. I cannot remember how to pronounce her.
India Sue. Yes.
Sue.
Good call.
Yes. India, who has had single belts at CMLL, but has sort of been like, behind Persephone. I mean, she's been behind some of the ones that you'll see across seas more, but India is incredible talent, incredible charisma and presence, and I think she's gonna be like the next Persephone. I think she's coming up like with Olympia too. Like they're gonna be the next tours. She's great.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Boris in the chat just goes, "Can y'all talk about Rhea and Io?"
Well, all right. But so
what do you mean?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
What do you mean?
I thought maybe you guys knew.
Yeah,
we
I don't
could,
know.
but I don't know.
Yeah. The top 10, I know we focused on it, but the top 10 obviously was Mercedes at 1.
I don't know.
Yeah. Toni at 2, Kamatani at 3, Stratton, Stephanie Vakur at 5, Io Sky at 6, Athena at 7. It's Saray or Sari?
Saray.
Saray.
Saray is her WWE name.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
how dare you.
I knew it less. All right. She was 8. Naomi at 9 and Rhea Ripley at 10. So 5 WWE people so half of the top 10 was WWE. Io and Rhea were both in the top 10. Yeah, I guess that. Yeah,
I just thought the way he worded that was funny.
I'm not really a WWE fan, but
as I kind of look at this list, like Roxanne Perez being at 22 is very impressive considering she doesn't have a major title win outside of that tag title that we just talked about. That's a very impressive showing.
She had the NXT title, I think, at the very
okay. I must have forgot about it.
I was say JC Jane at 11 is impressive. Obviously, she had, she beats Vaquer for that title, and everybody, including me, is just like, okay, well, she's going to hold that for a month just to the next person because they're bringing Stephanie up because she's a rock star. So they're bringing Stephanie up. This is a nothing thing. And then she ends up holding the belt and actually having some pretty decent matches for a while. So her at 11 that's high. That's high for
she had the knockouts belt for like all of a month.
But,
that played
double
a part
champ
in it
for
too.
a little time. Yeah,
I got a couple of questions.
All right.
We can talk about the top 10 as much as you want.
I got a couple of answers.
Because if Boris, we can talk about Io and Rhea.
Yeah.
Somebody said Io should be higher as well.
Io should be higher. Rhea was injured a lot this year. That's probably why she's at 10.
That's the issue.
Yeah, that's the issue there.
Yeah.
I think I think that the thing that carried her still so high despite it all is because we feel that she's really the face of the women's division still in WWE. She's really their top female star. I don't think anyone really I don't want to say it comes close. No, there may be some people getting up there because you can talk about Io, who did have a phenomenal, at least 7 to 8 months in the period. She's been absolutely tremendous. But I think that's the thing with Rhea mostly. She has good matches. Look, she had that near classic match with Io Shirai at the Evolution show.
Yeah.
But that was, that also that was angling out to be one of the best WWE matches of all time, in my humble opinion. That was absolutely phenomenal stuff. And because she can work, she can go. Maybe she hasn't had as spectacular years as she's had in previous years, the years that she won titles at WrestleMania and stuff like that, but it's Rhea Ripley still has the stardom, the star power, the influence, the aura, dare I say, to make sure that she stays in this very, very coveted top 10.
Oh, for sure.
And I think this is what I mean when I say it's apples and oranges. I mean, they both held the title. It was both rarely defended, rarely. They both had okay competition wise. Rhea had more repeat matches than Io did. Io held the belt for longer, but I mean, it was really like, and I don't think it was necessarily in this. Yeah, I don't think it was in this period. I think it was just before. But then Io's also got a lot of international appeal too. And the Joshi fans, she's getting back and forth with Marigold and wherever else. But, it was so close. And this is a W with all of their, who has the slightly better competition and who was at more, pay-per-view or PLEs, excuse me, who was at more of those. And Io just edged her a little bit as far as, WWE women go.
Yeah. And I think there was that weird stretch when they were building towards the Queen of the Ring where Io just didn't fight for 2 months. It felt like they were just backstage. I'm just like, can she just not be like beating lower level women like in decent matches for 10 minutes? Like, what the fuck are we doing? Why? And they did the same thing with Tiffany as well. It was just like you're building to the number one contenders at SummerSlam. They can't just be fighting. Throw them down in NXT. I don't give a shit. Just put them wrestle. What are we doing?
I agree. That's what Kristen meant earlier when she said it was a weird year, like for women in WWE, because it really was. You'd have like she mentioned, you'd have these small. These smaller title reigns, multiple titles with small reigns, or you'd have these extended reigns, but then you look at them like Io's reign, and you're like, well, she's not defending it. She held it for months, but she's had 2 defenses. What is this? So it's like, so it's for, on their side, on WWE's side, it was just very weird. And this is not necessarily on the women now. Now it's a question of booking. That's a whole other thing. But unfortunately, that's what happens.
Yeah.
This time.
Oh, no. I was just waiting for you guys to keep going. But okay, so what has been the biggest, because I know when we talked to Kevin last year, he said that he kind of has to shut the Twitter machine down for a few days after this list dropped. What has been the biggest, like, in your DMs or in your notifications outside of maybe Mercedes that you guys are seeing that you're just like, we get it, but it is what it is. Like, there's not like, what's the one debate that's been stirred up the most
outside of Mercedes?
Outside of Mercedes, because I know that's a layup. Because I think that's an easy one.
Honestly, that's a lot of what I saw. Although this year it was strange. I actually had 2 women wrestlers in my DMs asking me, "Can you tell me why I didn't make it?" And in one case, it was activity, which is, I would say 99% of the time when your favorite's not on, it's because of activity levels. Yeah. Unfortunately, women are just not booked a lot. And then the other one was she had more open weight and heavyweight competition, which counts for the 500, but not for the women's. And so it was very like, look, you did great, but you didn't qualify on the criteria wise. It wasn't anything personal. I'm not going to name names for the sake of Kevin, but there was also one wrestler, and I'm not going to tell you why they didn't get added because that would give it away. But there was one wrestler who
she tweeted about it. I saw it.
Yeah. So
I know who it is. I didn't want to ask because I didn't want to be rude, but she definitely asked where she was at on that list, and then Kevin had to put out a little statement.
Yeah. And so.
And we're supposed to be the marks. You know what I mean?
Which her, it was Hyann. We'll just say it because she's also.
That's not who I'm talking about.
Oh, because I'm talking about the Hyann sister because of all the stuff that also went on this week. She's a very big name.
Hyann's a sweetheart. Hyann is
okay, so there's another one.
Hyann is legit great.
No, Hyann is one of those wonderful people who understand this is a list, and a list doesn't mean that you had a bad year. It's all relative. It's all it is. We try to make it as
she's fan.
She's objective. She's a great. girl. No, this is, and you would probably never guess. This is a person who did on Twitter complain, but also in the DMs at PWI, and I got to see a screenshot of this conversation, and was a child. I mean, a child, a brat. And this person is older than me. I mean, I'm almost 40. A brat, and has been in the business a long time, and a brat. And Kevin is so kind. He's very like, I gotta be an editor. He's thinking of the future with PR, and can I work with this person in the future? So he's being very polite and telling them exactly why you are not. And it's not like personal. It was literally a rule that has been around for decades. This is not a new rule this year. But it was in his DMs, very mean. And this is a person you're like, this is a kayfabe list, sweetheart. You are being a jerk and a mark for yourself and another person in a list it's year to year. I think a lot of fans and even some wrestlers, I believe, who think that this list, I'm sorry, she knows. This list is like all encompassing. Like it's all encompassing, but it's not. It's a year to year thing. And so just because you may not be on the list this year doesn't mean but there are rules for a reason. And I would urge any wrestlers to not be jerks. It looks super weird. Super weird. And then Kevin is not vindictive, but then do you really expect in the future you're going to be thought of for a feature? Or he's not vindictive. He's very, his head on his shoulders.
No, he's super sweet.
You guys have that problem every year. Like and I know you put the criteria and the rules in the beginning of the 500. I don't know how much it costs to run a full page in a magazine, but maybe we go full page, bold letters. Before you turn to the 500, this is the rules, guys. Please read said rules before we dive into it, because
he does. Year. He puts out, he pre-tweets. He hypes up this with tweets of the criteria. People, it's stan culture, right? They don't care. And people who don't read, they scan a list, or they don't care. There are some people who just do not care, because they think that we just throw people in a list, and it's really,
Yeah, they're straight up idiots. Like just straight I mean, there are like, let's be honest. There's a straight up morons, right? Who just don't understand anything. It's not even a question of not caring. They just don't understand anything. So these are the people you contend with,
I always ask those people, like, where's your list? You could make your own.
I always say I'm waiting for the 30 lists that I have seen. That people have said that I
could do better.
Garbage list. Shutter your doors. Let's see that list of yours, and I want you to put it around publicly, and I want you to have the same criteria and see what it looks like. But there are a few people who every year are respectful and ask actual questions.
Yes.
And they'll at me or they'll reply to something, and I will reply back. And then they're very kind. Like there's a gentleman who wanted to know why Raquel Rodriguez wasn't on it or higher or whatever. And I said, because she's had a lot of tag. Simple. A lot of tag work.
Yeah.
And he said, okay, thank you. Thank you for replying. And that's all you got to do. But there are a lot of people who don't want answers, and they don't care, and they're just miserable, and they just want to spread misery. And those people I got to pray for at night. Like I pray that you get what you need. I pray you get what you need, because it's something. You need something.
Ask the follow-up.
Yeah, ask the follow-up. Go ahead.
Okay. And I'm going to be mean about it. Why wasn't Puppet Mercedes #1 on this list? And it's the reason that I'm fighting for Puppet Mercedes to be #1 on the list, the reason I have not yet to be invited into this committee. Is that what it is? Because I advocate for puppet wrestling?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
No, I actually thought with all this,
I even put it out there on socials. Puppet Mercedes.
I think it's a great idea, and I think all this stupid. I don't know if I can swear. Stupid.
You
ass-
You can
the
swear.
hell
You can swear.
want.
Yes, this stupid shit discourse about the cover discourse. I could scream. I told Warren what would be really cool is if we put the puppet with her. That would have been a really great cover.
I made it. It's on my social
You
media.
made it?
It's on there right now with Harley
I'm gonna
Cameron
repost that.
holding the puppet over
Listen.
Mercedes.
Here's the thing.
I already did. I took care of it.
I have the response for you, Pluggo, and it might not be something you want to hear, but
It might not.
you
I'm
know,
going to yell and I'm going to write a nasty DM.
okay, all right, I'm ready for it. If you want a puppet to be on a women's list, I think then if you perceive women as puppets, that's a reflection on you.
Wow.
Pluggo.
Wow.
They turn that around.
Wait,
You turn that
what?
around.
Whoa.
Wait, what?
You turn that around pretty good.
I'm
Whoa.
just
Turn that around
saying.
Pretty good.
If I'm
That
not
doesn't make any
mistaken,
sense.
that female presenting puppet was also puppeteered by a fantastic woman's wrestler. So if anything, I am advocating
Female
for
presenting puppet.
What a fucking line! Bravo.
That female presenting puppet.
I am not in this
Female
conversation.
presenting
Taking
puppet.
myself out of this conversation.
That's pretty good. That's
Yeah.
pretty good. Well, you actually answered one of my questions, which makes a lot of sense. But I was Raquel Rodriguez was someone that I was like, oh, because I think that she has leveled up her ability, and especially in the ring, this past calendar year. But that makes sense, obviously, because she has mainly been.
She had a
in
great
tag team
match
stuff.
on Monday, which made
Oh,
me
yeah.
go, oh my god!
Yeah.
I always forget how good she is by herself.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
always tagging with somebody. So
and it's sort of like they have tagged, and technically with the singles they could have barely made it, but when you're looking at that bottom of the list, these women are only really doing singles matches. This is not
Mhm.
tag competition. So then at some point do you go, okay, so do we put somebody whose 95% of their work is tag, despite technically qualifying, over someone who really only does singles? And she was on the borderline of having enough, and it wasn't like super awesome, great competition for those singles. But those are the individuals you think of then when the tag committee comes around. That's when you think of those people. Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm afraid to ask any more questions.
No,
yell at me.
Listen.
I won't
You
yell at
should.
you.
You should ask more
We're
questions.
gonna get violent.
You should
Is
ask
there?
more questions.
We have. Okay, I'll ask this while JPJ queues up. He's watching the Patriots. If I'm being
That's
honest,
not
with
true.
you.
That's not true. I'm looking at the list.
How are they doing? How they doing?
They are winning.
Okay.
Are you watching football instead of hanging out with us? Is
No,
that-
I have. I'm looking at the list. I have
He's
the
doing
list.
both. He's
right.
I'm just making sure he hasn't yelled yet, which is a good
Yeah.
sign.
Yeah.
Okay, so when this list started, it was 50. Then it went to 100. Now we're at 250.
Yeah, this was
And
something I was
with
gonna
all the names that we've seen in the women's wrestling, and we talked about names that did make the list, maybe is there any talk of a 300 or maybe getting to 5 anytime soon? Or are we happy with 250? At the moment, I wouldn't say happy overall, of course, because I think the goal is to have 1,000 women list.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
3,000. So
Then maybe the puppet will make it.
and not to this is not a correlation or a causation, okay? But when I got, it's 6th year on the committee, and it was 100 and then 150 and then 250. And the 150 came pretty quick because of exactly what you would think of. You get to the end of the 100 and you're like, there's so many women that we are not putting on that are not just qualified, but are like stars that people, and I think that part of that is a result of post-COVID, right? Everything being streamed. And then 150 came around, and then we were still having issues. And me and Kevin had that discussion. And again, not to toot my horn, okay? But part of it was I did the Bell to Bells 500.
Mhm.
And he came to me and he said, how many women did you have to cut off from that list? And I said, 200 women didn't make it. And he said, okay, so let's start with 250 then. Let's go up. And yeah, ideally that would be the case. However, and we've said this, I think, in past years, is that we are a reflection. This list is a reflection of the wrestling industry. So if we're having problems putting women on at 300 because of activity requirements, that's because the bookers aren't booking them properly. And so until some of these promotions can start getting with the times and book more women's matches and make it easier to make longer lists, it just will slowly rise. And I'm not saying it will eventually. That's the idea. That's the goal. Like, right, that's the mission in life, is to get it to be 500. But it's never going to get there if the promotions don't get with the program. So we have to take it slow, and we have to make the list, like the 500, prestigious, right? You want to make the list. That's the point. So if you put, women's 500 and everybody that's ever been on a show gets on it, I mean, it's not exactly prestigious at that point, So
yeah,
the idea is that, we don't want to be like, hey, ladies, you're never going to get on this unless you do some work. But the idea is that this is how you get to a 500 is, promoters notice. They notice when their women get on that list and they say good things. And okay, so then make more matches. So we're just a reflection of the time. So the mission is, let's make it a bigger list. And it's always talked about. Every year we talk about it at some point, that this gets bigger. So it's always in the back of our minds.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just a matter of time, I would think. It might be, however long down the line, but I think it's just a matter of time before we have identical 500, it's just a matter of time.
Gacho's in the house saying, what's good? What's good?
Yeah.
And how are
good?
you?
How are we doing? What is good?
What is good?
Yeah.
If there's other PWI questions, absolutely let us know in the chat. Remember, if you get a super chat in, we'll definitely answer. I wanted to ask you too a non-PWI question, and I want to ask JPJ's opinion on it too, because I saw it over the weekend. The Nixon Well stuff in AEW.
Don't squirm about that.
I would like to.
I'm just curious. Like, we don't generally dive into that kind of stuff too much on this show. We're more of a fun, but it was just very interesting, and I saw both sides of the spectrum on it, and the fan base seemed to be a little divided on it. Where did you guys walked out on a taping where they were supposed to only get 3 minutes, and I guess Miranda and Nixon didn't think that was enough time? Like, how do we feel about that overall, you guys?
So I'll preempt this by saying I wasn't there. I have no clue what's going on. So we're relying on reports. We're relying on them. I was not there. However, if we're assuming that the reports are right, personally, I find it a little ridiculous. I don't know how you, as non-signed talent, will walk into a company with a tag team who's in a tag team tournament right now, right? And say, why are we being squashed? Why, our promo was, why are we not answering this stuff with this promo? Why are we not in some sort of story? I don't really exactly know what their complaint was, but I think if you really thought that you were going to get some, barn burner 20-minute match with, I'm not saying, 10-minute match with a tag team that you don't want to get hurt because they're in a tournament, you just want to make them look good. I mean, that's a little ridiculous in my mind. And I think either way, whatever happened, they have no more goodwill, in my opinion, with AEW. How do you cut yourself off of that? So if it's true, that's my opinion.
It's just quick parenthesis. Yeah. It's likely true because we got the reports. And then they said, oh, we've got so much to talk about on our live stream tonight. And then they live stream and they basically corroborate everything that's been reported. So it's likely exactly what happened. But go ahead, JPJ.
I was just going to say, to me, I am all for people standing up for themselves, people voicing frustrations, all that. Yes, you should openly do that. But I look at it and I go, are they better off? Were they better off the next day when all this came out than they were if they just would have wrestled a 3-minute match on Saturday night? I just don't understand. Right. And I look at it, and yes, the wrestling business is not the work that you don't work there. they're taking time, whether it's 3 fucking minutes or 10 minutes, out of the time they pay for to have a television show to put you on that show, whether you're getting your ass kicked or not. And I don't care where you worked before. I don't care. They're giving you time for the second week in a row, by the way. So they brought you back. So they don't bring everybody back. They brought you back. And you are not in a spot where you are at. I look at it and I'm like, stand up for yourself, but like, who do you think you are, kind of thing to me.
And you're being given this time, which is not being allotted to some of the signed wrestlers that AEW has, and are instead deciding to use you because AEW is like, well, let's try them out. Let's see how it goes. Maybe we could sign these girls. Let's just give them a go. I mean, could you? Did it have to be underscored that these were tryouts? Because that's how it felt to me. It felt like these were tryouts. You're bringing in these two from the outside, and I'm in complete agreement with what everyone has said. And the most important, crucial part that we have to remember in this is that not too long ago, Nixon Newell was doing interviews and posting on social medias that she couldn't get bookings. I'm like, I don't understand it. I'm not getting any bookings anywhere. What's going on? Not only does she get a booking, she gets the booking. She gets booked with her girlfriend on national television on the second biggest promotion in North America that could pay her a living wage, right? Yeah. And she goes and she's not signed. They're trying her out, but she gets these bookings and she goes, no, sorry, this isn't going to work for me, these 3-minute matches.
Don't you have to ask how many is.
And it just blows your mind. No, but that's what's infuriating, because it does make me angry, because it blows my mind. Because then afterwards, you've got Layla Gray showing up on Twitter saying, there's some people backstage that would kill for 3 minutes of TV time.
Nyla Rose. Hello.
Nyla Rose. You know, it's like even the Outrunners made a joke.
Oh yeah.
But it's funny. It's like I actually saw Nixon wrestle in South Bend over the summer, and she's a fantastic wrestler in her own right, don't get me wrong. And then but anywhere in any profession or walk of life that you, especially if you're trying to prove, it's like even here at Love Wrestling, right? Spencer Love didn't go, here boys, here's the show, do whatever you want to do. We had to put in the spots, do the post shows and do these things and do that things and show that and then we get more and more and more. Like that was the thing. Like you do the 3, and of course you're going to want to make sure that. And I heard that side of it was just Tay and Anna Jay. They're trying to build those two, Tay Mello, into a big force, because if they're not booked strong in this tag tournament, everybody's going to go, well, they just lose. They're just going to lose. So there was a design here to go, give 3 minutes, give them a hell of a showing in 3 minutes, but make them look good. And then if you make them look good, there's a chance we'll bring you in, because you are a name and people do like you.
Right. If you build this goodwill, which you had started to build, because everyone was excited about the fact that they were a same-sex couple, and they weren't making a big deal out of it. It was just like very natural, and people were very supportive of that. But like to your point, TJ, not only like even if you strip away the tag team tournament, which was clearly what this was for, was to give TJ a win going into the tournament, right? Which is absolutely normal. That's just good booking, okay?
Yes.
Even if you strip the concept of the tournament away, TJ is an established tag team in AEW and has been for years. Yes. Even before there were women tag teams in AEW, there was fucking TJ, right? These are people that the fans know, that they relate to. You're not going to. You're not going. It makes more sense for them to squash the New Girls than anything else. It doesn't. None of it makes sense. They should have been able to understand it. At the very least, they should have been able to say, yeah, you know what? We'll do it because we need a job, I mean, just as simple as that, right? Look, excuse me.
Get your foot in the door, then start running your mouth. If that's how you want to play it.
Exactly.
You can't yell outside. You can't yell outside of the club. You got to get in first.
You got to get inside of the club.
Sign the contract and then run your mouth.
Yeah, that's
the old promoters trick from back in the day When you hire someone new, you bring them in, you have them lose their first few matches, you know, 4 or 5. That was something that every promoter did to check the ego, to check the attitude on this person, right? And if it didn't work, like if the guy second match in is he's making requests of the promoter like, all right, hit the bricks, pal, see you in the next territory kind of thing. I mean, it still works in 2025. It's still a thing to do in 2025.
Yeah, I mean, it's not used to the level that it was when I first started watching wrestling I'm going to date myself, in the early 90s, but there are people that made careers off wrestling 3-minute matches on television every week.
Yes.
Careers.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, come on now. Like I said, I'm all for standing up for yourself. If you think you deserve a better match, you can be vocal about it and still do your end of the bargain, which is go out there and do the fucking job.
Right.
It was just very weird. Very weird.
You know what? Good
go
for
ahead.
Hyan and Maya. Good for Hyan and Maya.
Yeah.
A win's a win. You know what I mean? Good for them.
I'm no expert, but the pay would have been the same, right?
Between
like if they would have no for Nixon and Miranda, if they would have just did the 3, they would have paid whether that was.
Oh yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It's not like if you lose this match in 3 minutes, you get like half.
You get paid for the
appearance fee. That's what it is. You get paid.
You're being booked. You're being booked that way.
You got paid. That's what I get it. There's this you want to be. Everybody wants to be on top thing, but at the same. As long as as long as the check clears, like
it's very short-sighted of them. It's very weird. It's Orlando brained, if you ask me. It's very, very strange. It's just a bizarre reaction to something that, and they closed the door. They closed the door on this. Never say never in pro wrestling. You never know what'll happen, but they're not being called back anytime soon.
Well, and to Tony Khan and AEW's credit, they've kind of treaded pretty lightly with ex-WWE talent as of late, where they haven't done this thing where they just bring them all in, because you kind of saw what happened when you well there's no room, but then when you bring them all in, they come in with this different mindset, and you have to now they're and here they go, they bring one in the first, and then she's like, nah, not doing that, and then
to bring it back to the list. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
if you want to relate all this to the list, I tell Warren all the time that it's healthy for anyone to have an ego when it comes to your work. When it comes, especially if you're a freelancer and you're making your own bookings and you're reaching out, it's good. It's healthy to have an ego, like people who really want to be on the list, or they ask, why am I not on this list? Or that's a good ego. But then there's like that line that you cross where like there's ego, and then there's like losing a paycheck and making yourself look like a fool, because that is gonna come out. That right there was gonna come out. If I'm leaving as Nixon or Miranda, I'm thinking this is gonna get released. I just know it. This is gonna come out. So now they're way worse off. Like they're at that, but they really screwed themselves over.
I don't know how it affects their bookings going forward, but
yeah,
I'm sure there'll be some promotions that'll go, yeah, we're gonna they're kind of hot right now, we'll bring them in.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be the promotions that I think that they would want per se, like you said, livable wage type stuff. But super intriguing.
She literally she literally said, I'm not getting booked. That's weird. And then also she's talking about how she's got maybe 2 years left in wrestling. So it's like, you didn't do yourself any favors. You could have had a nice 2 years getting booked in the mid card of AEW, getting a whatever, just doing your thing and getting a paycheck that you could probably pay your rent with, pay your mortgage, whatever, and maybe get yourself a nice little nest egg for you to start off your cat cafe once you're done. It's like whatever it is, whatever you want to do after your career is over.
We have one of those in my city. We have a cat cafe.
What is a cat cafe? Please go on.
I mean, this sounds like a wonderful place. If you ask,
I don't know if it's what he was talking about, but
like I can bring my cat to a cafe.
Well, no. So here it's like you can adopt cats or you can hang out with them. So it's a cafe, and then it's like there's this whole other room that you go to, and you have to sign all kinds of waivers just to go into the room. And there's like a part where you can play with them, and then eventually they want, the idea is to give them forever homes. Like they want you to adopt them. Yeah.
So like traditional cafe style, where I go get my latte, then go play with Bonkers the cat.
Yeah. There's like a cafe.
Yeah. Listen, there's some people upstairs in the Casa del Pluggo that would absolutely love that. They would never leave.
You can't let them find out about that.
And then they would come home.
Cats. You will have.
Have I ever told you that? Every time Mrs. Pluggo has said, I'd like to get a cat, and she always, for some reason, she puts it on me. And I'm always like, well, like, are the boys going to help out with it? Yada, yada, yada. And then I cave and I go, yeah, you guys can get a cat. She comes home with 2. And she always goes like, hey, meet blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, oh, hi. And then she's like, oh, and by the way, I couldn't split them up. And I was like, yes, you could have. You absolutely could have done. No. So, yeah, we have 4 cats in the house. And
4.
Yeah.
We're allergic, Warren and I. We're allergic.
So you can't go to the cat cafe.
Can't go to the cat cafe.
Because it is very
the next Noel cat cafe.
I mean, just imagine going to get you're going to get your maple latte, and then you just can go in another room and just hang out with cats.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds delightful. I like cats.
Yeah, what a time.
I love cats.
Always busy
I think
in
cats
that
are great.
Yeah.
But then cats will make me sneeze until until my brain starts pouring out of my ears.
Fair.
So
that's fair. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need to see that. Nobody wants to see that.
Please.
No one really does.
Yeah.
That's gotta. Speaking of, like, where's all the plants? I just noticed you're
moving things around. There's I've got 2 of them right here. I've got 2 right there. But I've got one on top of a thing here. I've got another one there.
Spencer Love check must not have cleared.
No. It's
right there's one.
This guy here.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a good angle.
You noticed that there was less plants that before I did. I didn't even notice that his plants moved around.
That's because I care deeply for Warren and his. What is it? Horticulture.
Horticulture. Yes.
Horticulture. Yeah.
This is a turtle vine. This is a turtle vine.
I like that.
Yes, that's growing over here.
Why did you start him?
There's still quite a few plants. There's a couple of that are over there. They're in the nursery. They're having a little bit of a rough time. I've got this one here, which is doing quite well. Actually, see brand new leaf right here.
Yeah.
This one here.
Yeah.
And you got a stem coming out.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have another one there. You love
Stop missing plants.
I've got this jasmine plant here.
Oh.
Yes, this is a beaut.
Looks so great.
About a month ago, it was completely filled with white flowers. So, but they've all faded
died.
since. What's that?
They've all died, like our viewership.
No,
you asked.
People logging off right now. I didn't come here for
Kristen. It's criminal
that
I know it's criminal that you don't come on as often as Warren, but this is a trope that has been here ever since he started being a plant guy.
I date him. We are.
Oh no, I know that, but I'm just saying on this show.
Okay.
Stop
bringing it up, Pluggo.
The Warren Hayes plant minute or 5 or 10.
It's an arc.
10 minutes.
It's an arc.
The 10-minute plant conversation is a must because the people got to know what's going on in the life of the green thumb that is Warren Hayes.
Yes.
Nobody cares about the wrestling takes. They got to know about the plants.
The plants.
That's what the people
he
come
shoves
for.
in the. Look at this plant. Like, yeah, okay. In this purple light.
What is your favorite? What is your favorite plant that Warren has, Kristen?
I don't know what plants he has. I'm gonna be honest with you. The lavender one.
Warren, does that bother you that she's not as into plants as you are?
No, I think it's important for a healthy couple should have specific interests. They should have different interests. I think that's very, very healthy. In fact.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you have plants throughout the house? Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I said I support it. Yeah. I like plants.
She supports it. Yes.
I love plants. I don't know anything about them, nor do I want to grow them. I will kill them. but
Fair.
I like.
But she
plants.
supports me. I'll tell her, hey, I got a plant. She says, isn't that nice for you?
Oh,
See?
good.
That was like Mrs. Pluggo the other day when I was like, I got this Chase Willow Nightingale action figure, and she's like, that's good for you.
Good.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's one of 3,000, honey. And
She's like,
I'm so happy for you.
I'm so happy for you. Where's my Christmas tree?
Yeah.
there's 8 of them upstairs.
I know.
Yeah, Dustin just popped in and said, "Did I miss the plant segment?" You just did. You just did.
Ugh.
That's a comment. That's an actual comment. Now, last question of the plant minute. Last question: do you have plants throughout the house, or are they strictly in the office?
No, I have some. I have some in the living
Strewn
room.
about.
I have
we need
2, 3, 4. I have 5 in the living room, 2 in the kitchen.
We need an MTV crib style Warren's plant.
Wait,
This is
5,
where
yeah.
I keep my rose bushes.
Yeah, 5,
My
that's it.
spider
I have
plant.
5 in the
My spider
It's
plant.
fair.
That's where I
I've got
keep
2
my.
spider plants.
I don't know any other good plant names, but
Do you name them? You never told me if you named them.
No, I don't give them names. I think
this
that's
is
corny.
Jeff. This is Jeffrey.
Corny? You're supposed to love them and talk to
I
them.
love them. I take very good care of them, but I
Yeah.
don't give them names.
That's fair.
That's-
I don't think I would name my plants.
Do you
I
have
don't think I would
a,
That's a little weird.
do you have a ficus? A ficus plant?
I have trouble growing ficus. It's weird. I
I
struggle
heard
with
there's
ficus.
a pill for that.
Okay.
All right.
Jesus Christ. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
All right. Pluggo.
Unbelievable.
I missed Warren the last time he was on. I gotta get all these questions in. I have to.
All
Yeah.
right.
He's a big star these days.
Yeah.
Okay.
While we've been
Anyway.
live here, there's been breaking news. Joe Hendry has officially signed with WWE, which we all saw coming a mile
Well,
away.
yeah.
But yeah, officially announced. While we've been, the spit take.
No
Big
way.
Joe Hendry has signed with WWE.
You know how that running joke that AEW is a feeder system for WWE? It's really TNA that's become the feeder system for WWE.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I love Joe Hendry and Thea Hale together. I think it's a lot of fun. I think that's a great pairing.
I don't mind Joe Hendry. I think his intro is one of the funniest ever. It's like an HGTV like show intro. You know, like he's gonna go show you flip some houses. You know,
Show you some plants.
Yeah. I don't mind him. I think he's an average wrestler in my opinion, but I like his intro. I think it's very WWE, so that works.
I mean, they're gonna milk the shit out of it. Yeah, I mean, they
yeah.
already have, but they're gonna
I was
milk
gonna
the
say they
shit
already
out-
have.
Yeah, but they are gonna milk the shit out of it.
And listen,
So,
and to be fair, is he going main roster? Or is he NXT?
I think he's gonna be in this tournament for Cena. He's
So,
gonna definitely be in this.
and then if it, it doesn't matter that he left TNA, they got the partnership. I mean, Jordan Grace is fighting for that Knockouts championship. So
Wait, what?
Jordan Grace is fighting for the Knockouts championship that's held by Kalani Jordan, who's an NXT. So it doesn't really matter where he's signed.
I think we
Hang
should
on, wait a second.
Have you not
No,
been paying attention to
broke that
NXT?
news till more.
Wait. Hang on. I gotta walk me through this. So,
Yes.
so Jordan Grace, who used to be in TNA, right?
It's
For
now
years.
signed to NXT.
Signed with NXT, and she's very well known as a Knockouts champion in TNA.
As
She's a
she
tremendous
said, one of the
wrestler.
greatest of all time.
Yes, I
He
concur.
really is. I concur.
And she's in NXT, and she is fighting for the Knockouts championship of the promotion that she left
Yeah.
against
the
Kalani
contracted
Jordan,
person
who-
where she's from.
Yes. Correct.
Did you know that they did a traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series matchup, and the team captain was a NXT? It was Kalani.
Yes. That's what I was
In
about
fact,
to bring up. That broke my mind.
Most of the team were former
Yes,
WWE
it was
employees.
the yes.
So basically, to bring it back, so if Joe Hendry, he could just keep fighting for TNA if he wants, because it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, well, I think Dustin nailed it in the chat because on Raw on Monday, Solo has a mystery opponent in the tournament, and they're in MSG. I could see Joe Hendry getting the entrance and being that guy then.
People think it's going to be Edge, right? Isn't that the thing? People
The
think it's
people
Edge?
listen. The people that do, what are you doing? Don't you?
Listen,
know how
that's
contracts
me.
work?
That's
it's just
me.
Not gonna happen.
Okay, listen, that's me. Shut up. Don't
Yeah,
judge.
I get
Listen,
it.
this is the one time where I'm just like, I get how contracts work, and I understand how all of it works.
Contracts work.
I understand it all. I'm actually quite smart. I have a legal team and everything for all this kind of stuff. But I just wish that for once we could just throw it out the window and just be like, yeah, give it to us just one time. I think it would make goodwill for everybody. That's what I want for Christmas, okay? Listen, Santa's still real too.
Yeah. Tony Khan just be like, hey guys, you have been counter programming me for a year. Here's my employee. Use him at your beck and call whenever you need it. But you know.
You only need him one time. He doesn't have to. I'm just saying it's not going to happen. But I would love to fantasy book that.
Each of the shows have a mystery opponent. So tomorrow night on SmackDown, somebody's going against somebody we don't know, and then Monday, Solo is going against somebody.
Probably gonna be somebody super lame.
My picks are Joe Hendry and Matt Cardona. Those are just the two that I think they'll be, because Cardona has history with Cena. So I think that makes sense for him to be in it. And Joe Hendry, they're going to do it for the fucking pop.
What if it's Bad News Barrett because of the Nexus?
I wouldn't hate that either. I wouldn't hate that.
Heath Slater?
Heath Slater.
Yeah.
What's he doing?
I think it is going to be people that, like they had Rusev go through. I think they're building the tournament around people that have had history with Cena.
Yeah, he keeps talking about wanting to give opportunities to up-and-coming talent. So...
Well, they are doing well. They did announce that Saturday Night Live. Jesus Christ, that Saturday night's main event.
Hey, that Saturday Night Live was pretty good.
It's going to be a showcase now, where it's going to be all WWE people versus NXT people. So they are doing that. So yeah,
stimulating.
Okay. So I will. Okay, sorry.
All right.
So no, but just to make so. Because I follow this from afar, but because my thinking was Wade Barrett, because didn't he mention recently, like in an offhanded comment, that he has like one more match in him or something like that?
I believe.
I feel like I saw that somewhere aggregated. Like I could be completely wrong. And
he's mentioned the Nexus on TV.
A couple of times. Maybe I mean I wouldn't be surprised if they just went in house and was like, okay, sure, let's do that. And against Solo, who cares? Like if he beats Solo, no one cares. Solo Sikoa, no one cares. No one cares.
They did announce that. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I was like, that could be like the 3 of the 4 of the League of Nations, right? Who else could we get in there?
I've been angling for Nikki Bella to get the spot. That's just me, guys.
Oh,
she needs to finish her story.
She did turn heel.
She did turn heel on Monday.
That she turned heel.
So it's even better now.
So funny.
But that is a very good. That's hilarious.
And she could beat Solo. She could absolutely beat
Solo.
Solo.
Who would care?
No one would care.
No one cares.
I will say they did announce a match for next week in the tournament. It is going to be Javon Evans and Gunther. And that made me excited. I think that match will actually
could be really good.
That's gonna be a lot of fun. I think
Javon Evans is tremendous.
Yeah, he's very good. And Gunther is like his return. And Gunther's the favorite to be Cena's last opponent. I think that's really where they're going.
Goldberg
now that and now that Cena is the IC champion, I would assume Gunther, if it is him, I would assume the person fighting Cena is going to take the IC title from him. As like kind of like a I would think.
How do you guys feel about John Cena becoming Grand Slam champion here? 1
Good
month
for
left.
him.
1 month left. He's got a month left.
I don't care.
Does he I don't know. Is it that big? I don't know. Good for
Are
him.
Are you excited for the shortest Cena's Intercontinental Championship Open Challenge of all time? Because it'll be once.
Is that what he's doing? Is he doing an open?
I don't know. I would have. I'm assuming he would wrestle in NYC.
You think so?
I think you got to have him just wrestle the last 3 times.
Because he's going to be in the War Games match. I think he'll be in the War Games match. They're making like a super team there, and then obviously the last match. You think he's going to? I mean, I felt like the way they did it was kind of like, hey, Boston. We know the last match should be here, but we're greedy and we took the most money. So here's a big special moment for you. And we're going to have him.
You can tell he's still not over that.
And he even said it like in the promo that he cut. He was like, obviously I wanted to go as many places as I could, but this was the place I knew I needed to go. And like, they know Triple H is from New England. They know that the last match should have been in, like, that makes sense, but they know that TKO cares about one thing, and that's what they were going to do. And I think that that's why everything kind of, because, you know, everything kind of went down the way it was. It was kind of like an apology, like, hey, we're going to make this a really good night for you guys with Cena, because we know it should probably be the last one, should be here, kind of thing.
Where's the last one? Where's it being?
Washington, D.C.
What a okay.
Yeah, I wonder why. I wonder why.
Yeah,
I swear to God,
I will tell you this though.
That might be it for me.
I looked at flight status for funsies. I'm not obviously going to go, but it's not too bad.
Government, you're going to go on the government shutdown. You're going to go travel during the government shutdown?
No. I've done my traveling for the 2025 season. I don't do anything like that during, because I work retail. So this is
you're done.
Me and Pluggo work retail with the shoot jobs. We're not allowed to do anything fun.
Just not allowed. Any shows that I go to have to be within like 2-hour driving distance. Is like because like you can't be going. No, not allowed. Especially now. I would not want to fly during this situation.
Oh no.
Because I had a hell of a time when I flew out to Boston to see JPJ for Bound for Glory. I was going to say like. Yeah, I can't imagine now.
No.
Yeah.
All right. It's an ordeal. Flying is an ordeal.
It is. I mean, listen, you could have the quickest flight ever. It's still an all-day process. You could have, it's not that I would ever fly to New York because it's an easy drive, but it's a 45-minute flight from Boston to New York, and plenty of people take that flight. But that's an all-day. Like you're traveling for half the day, no matter what. You know what I mean? It's just
such a process.
I agree with. Yeah, I agree with you, sports and things. I yelled about Cena's last match not being in Boston for about 2 straight weeks. But I am from Boston, so I am biased. But
you're from Boston? Oh.
I am. Yeah, I know. It's crazy, isn't it?
Couldn't tell.
Couldn't tell at all.
I know. Do
I play your theme song?
No, I haven't had any of that tonight. I've been good tonight. I've been chilling. Obviously, I know we talked about the list and all that stuff kind of to round it out before we get out of here. The rankings are the rankings. Mercedes 1, Toni 2. Those are considered the 2 best women's wrestlers of the year. But if I were to ask each of you who maybe your top couple favorite women's wrestlers of the year were, and you can stick it to the time frame of the list if you want to make that easier for you, because I don't think necessarily for everybody whoever is 1 and 2 is always the favorites, obviously. So if I were to ask you, and you can take, obviously, I know I'm kind of springing that on you and you haven't had time to think about it, but to the best of your knowledge, answering, right away, like if you had to pick a favorite female wrestler of the year, or 2 or 3 that stick out to you, if that's easier, who did you really dig this year?
Well, do you want me to go first, darling, and think about it some more?
Yes, honey.
Oh, yes, honey.
Are you talking to
Honey.
Kristen?
Oh.
I'd still go with Mercedes. I think for me, like I think Mercedes is she had an absolutely banner year over the period, just remarkable, especially when it comes to output, to the quality of her matches, just fucking untouchable. It's incredible. Sari for me as well. Sari, I think, is phenomenal. There's no one in Japan even close to her level of output. She's freelance, so she's not associated to any one promotion. So, there's a lot of stuff that goes along with it. She doesn't get that much exposure, though she did work a lot in Stardom this year, which helped her, I think, on the rankings. Ultimately, IWGP Women's Champion. That also is pretty darn cool. I've got a soft spot for Saya Kamitani. I think she is such a Cinderella story, a wrestler that was a nice little wrestler, when she was a babyface. Nice little wrestler, but nondescript, didn't stick out, just like, it's Saya. She's very good, but that's it. And then they flip the switch, turn her a heel, and just that whatever she used to be was torched. That woman is a ghost at this point. She commands every room she's in. Like she's just like, she's huge, extremely charismatic, and a great pro wrestler on top of that. Those would be like my three favorite wrestlers. I always and you know, I always have a penchant for Willow Nightingale on top of that. So there you go.
Nice.
I mean, yeah, so Saya and Nina Samuels, like I mentioned. Momo Watanabe is always
Almost
a
great.
favorite. Oh, I'm obsessed with her. She's so charismatic, and she's got this bat, and she's such a badass, and it's one of those where
Very poorly booked after the 5-star.
Yeah,
I think
they
Stardom did a
dropped
really
her.
bad job with her
Yeah.
after the 5-star.
They really did. Sol Ruka is actually one of my favorite, like, up and comers. I mean, I don't even call her an up and comer anymore. I mean, she's had some titles. She's had like, there's some sort of record, right, where she's had like 2 titles from the main and NXT, and it's like one of the first or something. Or there are a lot of women who come in on that pipeline in NXT that you're like, late, you know, the names are like what I call like white millennial woman from the South names that they name their kids, you know, and you're like, I couldn't tell, I know them, but they don't stand out to me. And Sol Ruka came in, and you're like, okay, this is going to be one of those cases, and she knocked it out of the park. I think she's a really great wrestler. She came in and she had some spots where you're like, I don't know if she's going to do so well, because it's with a lot of like really well-known great wrestlers, and then she held her own. It's sort of like Tiffany Stratton when Tiffany Stratton went up to Maine. You're like, I don't know if Tiffany, and then she held her own really well. And Sol Ruka, I think, she's getting up there on my list. She really is. So that, Momo, Willow, all of them, if anyone's watching,
all of you, all two,
all of you.
And
Queen
listen,
Aminata. Queen Aminata.
Queen Aminata, yeah, yes.
Who's on the verge of like manslaughter or murder every time she gets in that ring. She's so vicious. She doesn't pull any punches. She's
it was such a bummer
amazing.
that she wasn't in that Blood and Guts match.
She was tailor made for that.
Yeah.
And if we're talking about the up and comers, you know, we mentioned her earlier, but Maya World, like I think there's something there. She's, you know, she's a super duper rookie, but there's something there, man, with Maya World. There's the elements are there. I'm really excited to see what her future is going to look like.
Yep.
You're muted, bro. You're muted.
Oh, dang, my bad.
You're muted.
No, I was gonna say, for you know, obviously for me, and she ended up being number 15 on the list, so she was clearly recognized as being one of the best. I thought for me, Lyra Valkyria was one of the top 2 to 3 workers in all of WWE this calendar year. Her in-ring is just spectacular. She's deceptively strong, like crazy. And I thought, I'm not the biggest fan of WWE's booking for the most part all the time, especially this year. But I thought the way that whole thing went down with her and Becky all summer was actually probably my favorite thing that WWE did all year. And I thought they did a really good job of elevating Lyra Valkyria into like a main event level person. And I thought she stood out. I would have loved to even seen her crept up even further to that top 10. But I thought Lyra was one of my favorites all year. I've really loved her work, and she's still really good. I'm very intrigued by the stuff with her and Bailey, and so she's been a standout person for me. That I was happy to see her at 15.
Yep.
I got a couple, and it kind of circles back to the conversation we had about a certain couple people that walked out. Like Chelsea Green has absolutely excelled with. She started as like they gave her 30 seconds on TV, and she made the most of it, and now she's one of the most over people in the company. Stephanie Vakir for me is probably my wrestler of the year, female wrestler. And she's absolutely fantastic. And I'm going to go off the beaten path on this one. And this is just more because this is my Harley Cameron. I like
so
Harley.
Great, though.
She is so fun. She plays her role perfect. She's not ever going to give you like a 5-star banger match, but she's entertaining as all hell. So that's one of my favorites. It's just kind of off the beaten, like normal list. She was
great.
awesome last
She was
night.
awesome
Yeah.
in that.
She's had
party
a
death
couple.
match.
She's had a couple matches where I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Like I'll look at Warren and go, wow, like she's holding her own.
And they
Like,
said it
she-
last night. 49th match in her
Yeah,
career.
I mean she's
Wow.
she's
still
super duper green.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's
Yeah.
holding her own. You can tell she's hungry, like she's willing.
Yeah.
Like, give it to me. You know, you can
Yeah.
tell that.
I
Mhm.
just find her when I do have time to sit down and write top fives, and when I was consistently banging them out early on, I had to honorably mention her like every week. It's just
Sure.
a segment that I always entertained.
I look at her and Chelsea Green kind of similarly. I didn't say that.
Sure.
But like, you know what I mean? Like they're given kind of everything, and they are willing to do and want to make everything. Yeah, words are hard. It's true. Like, you know what I mean? I view them very much the same like that. Like they'll take anything and make it entertaining and make it funny and do what they can to make the segment or match or whatever it is as best they can. I think they're just very good and they're very funny and they're just that style of performer. And I think both those ladies are very, very good and they rule.
See, it's crazy what happens when you get rid of Zion Quinn out of your life. That's what happens.
You know, it's crazy, right? on that, note, I was gonna say on that note, thank you.
We need
joining us.
the views of Warren Hayes or not of those of Love.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but we want to thank you both for joining. This is always a fun time when we get you guys on to chat the PWI 250 and stuff like that. So we'll start with you, Kristen, but why don't you let the people know where they can follow you and what you got coming up, if you got anything coming up besides obviously this massive list that just came out. What you got going on?
So Twitter at Kristen Ashly, Instagram at KV as in Victor Ashley, and then I don't even know my Blue Sky one. Just look me up. And yeah, I mean, I'm not pushing out a lot right now, but you know, I've got a column coming up. I have a column pretty much every issue. The W column covering women's wrestling. I am now on this year's. I don't know if I'm allowed to announce this, but I'm on this year's tag committee. So that will be the next. Yeah, okay. That will be the next issue. It's going to be the tag team. And then I think the awards will be in that one. And please buy this issue that just came out. Please buy the women's issue, not just because it makes sure that we still have jobs as writers, but it supports the women and it makes sure that we can do this ranking in the future too. So PWI/online.com. Digital you can buy today, and you can pre-order the physical, which I think is December 2nd. It comes out. So.
Awesome.
And there's little quips. I know people will just go find the list online, but there's a little fun get to know quips
like
each
blurbs
wrestler.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's not just that they put a list out and they highlight one or two of the. They do all 250, all 500. Go get it's one of my favorite reads of the year.
Go find matches for some of these women. That's the point. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Warren, let the people know.
Well, before we do, apparently there's more breaking news.
Oh.
Apparently Frankie Kazarian did a cash in and beat Mike Santana for the world title after the NXT mid card invaded. Apparently that's a thing.
Wait a second. Wait a fucking second. Where's Nemeth in this? He won that shit too. By the way, breaking news. After a month and a half of being dark, TNA's back and they have a pay-per-view tomorrow.
I never know until the day before.
You build to Santana being the TNA hero and winning that title for fucking months. And then you go dark where you can't celebrate him as the new champion for a fucking month.
You've got it, brother. Let's go.
And then in is this the first show back tonight? Is this
I think it's the first show back. I think it's the first show back.
He loses the title?
God, you're great. I love you so much, JPJ.
Kiss my ass.
We were there.
Right.
We were like, holy shit, they finally did it. And then
WWE has taken over. Anyway.
And they put it on but look, let's look at this from a fresh perspective. Sure. They put it on, this guy, the future of the company, right? This fresh-faced new guy, Frankie Kazarian, right? Yeah. Who, he's got, only the best years of his career are in front of him, right? He's got so much still to give. Like there's nothing but it's looking forward.
Okay, so after Santana lost to Kazarian, did he go NXT to the camera? Because that's the only reason.
That is. Fellas, are you finally going to start coming around that cash-ins are dumb and stupid and should not happen because they're always awful?
The TNA one is even dumb and stupid is because they let Nemeth and Kazarian both win the Call Your Shot, and then they spent the end of that pay-per-view like both of them coming out to call their shot first. So did Nemeth miss his chance? And what? Okay, I'm going to have to watch now, but okay. LOL, TNA's going to TNA, baby.
TNA's going to TNA. That's what they're going to do.
LOL TNA. I'm Warren Hayes. I host the Mr. Warren Hayes Show podcast that happens every Wednesday over on youtube.com/Mr. Warren Hayes or on your favorite podcast application. I also do a weekly AEW Dynamite review every Thursday. It's out today, of course, because today is Thursday, so you should go check it out if you want to hear someone who's very, very enthusiastic about an episode of AEW Dynamite. This is the one you want to jump in on. And I also live stream a couple of times a week on the YouTube channel as well. It's always a fun time. It's always a good time. Nice little community that we've got every night of streaming. And we just sit around and we read articles and we talk about the news and we make fun of people. So there you go. What more do you want out of a wrestling podcast?
Exactly. Pluggo.
More
Pluggo
talk.
Pluggo, do the thing.
I am Pluggo. You go to @Pluggo on all social media platforms. You search that, my face pops up. That is me. Every Thursday night, I'm with this gentleman right here. I love wrestling for Between Two Beards @B2Beards on all the social media platforms there as well. I do college football picks. They're up on the Hive right now, I think, or coming up soon. I just sent them over to Josh, and I think I'm going to add another social media recap to that non-wrestling related. So stay tuned to that. No for exposure again this weekend because Big Bad Boris's extreme extravaganza is going on. So you will catch me and Blair next weekend. We will be back and we'll be talking the Revolution Rumble of LPW and plus a bunch more. We haven't talked in weeks. I missed that guy. And then all my writings are up on Love Wrestling CA right now.
Love it. You can follow me, JPJ Loves Gaming, on all social media platforms. If you look at my pinned tweet, that's kind of where my schedule is. Obviously, what he told you where you can find it, the flagship here every Thursday night, 8 p.m. You can find me over at Body Slam on Mondays after Raw and Wednesdays after Dynamite. And then you can find me doing stuff with the Hive and a whole bunch of stuff. And I stream on my Twitch and my channels as well a couple times a week as well. So once again, thank you.
One more thing. Yeah. It was requested a couple of times.
Live from the land of chowder and pain, JPJ's losing his freaking brain. Boston anger, turn up the heat. He's got opinions with no defeat.
I've never seen this bit. This is tremendous.
Yeah. Either. Yeah. I like it. That's really great.
I mean, the TNA thing was probably the closest thing I got to angry to.
Yes, anytime he starts
to get that, every time I start to even show a hint of anger, Pluggo's like, push the button.
And the best part about it is I can do that, or we have it that it can just play in the background. So if he's just going off, I can just.
You can just troll him. You can troll him.
Yeah. It's wonderful. He's put up with me for 4 years.
It's true.
Incredible.
It's true.
Remember when we celebrated episode 11 with Warren? Like that was some big.
We did, yeah. Warren, you were the guest. We celebrated episode 11.
Like it was some big milestone.
Because people would say, like,
"We've really
come." We were like, "Nah, man, episode 11. That's the one.
Really come along.
That's the one." Yeah. No, but yes, no, thank you both. Thank Boris for hopping on at the top. Support, if you can, that QR code. We have a bunch of tweets on Love Wrestling, and Pluggo and I and everybody has reshared it. Even if you can't donate, sharing it out does a lot as well. So if you could help out Boris, starting tomorrow night at midnight Eastern, 40 straight hours here on Love Wrestling, watching and talk. He said he's not going to sleep. Barely eating. Is he gonna have to use the bath? What's he gonna do when he has to go to the bathroom?
He goes to
I
the
don't-
bathroom during the streams he does
I-
now. So I think
you know?
I don't think unless he's getting a catheter inserted, the bathroom breaks are allowed.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, you
Not
know,
live
40
on
straight
stream,
hours,
of
but it's for a
course.
great
Yeah.
cause. It's for mental health and things like that. So it's for a great cause. So if you could check that out, if you could donate, if you could share, any help would be great. Thank you two, as always, for joining us tonight and talking some PWI 250 and a whole bunch of other stuff. We appreciate you both a lot. Everybody, you know the drill. About to say hi to Sue, and Pluggo and I will see you next week. And until then, have a great weekend, everybody. Peace
Hi,
out.
Sue.
Hey there, Pluggo and JPJ. It's Trent's mom, Sue, and I have a bone to pick with you. So, I understand that you guys are being real idiots and spending your entire monthly budget. You've got to be kidding me. This is not the way to be when you're trying to run a business. Your boss, Spencer, is really pissed off at you. I'm pissed off at you. You have some nerve. You know, get a grip. You you have to control yourself. You can't just go out and spend all the money that you're making, you two beards guys. Oh no, this is coming out so stupid. Anyway, behave yourselves, or I'm gonna cut you off from watching AEW. You're no longer gonna get to know, be able to meet my son. What? Oh, or me. I'm sorry, this is like, I don't know.